We are on. What's up, Annie?
I am fantastic.
Just another good day.
It's a good day
Um,
today.
we have started our daughter talks. We already launched our first one, so now we're recording some more.
Yes, this is really fun. I feel like we're getting somewhere with this. I'm
I
like seriously, I'm so excited that we're doing this.
I know, me too. We just had a talk about all right, what do we want to talk about today? And that was such a long talk. We have so many things to talk about. And
I
one
feel
of the
like we've
things,
already talked
really,
for like an hour.
at least, yes, but we just hit record. And I was actually one of the things that I've been dying to ask you. This is like, I can't remember how old. I must have been like 15 or 16. I didn't even know what CrossFit was at the time, but you're competing at the CrossFit Games. And just like, how did you get into competing in CrossFit? How was the first, like, your first year competing at the games?
Yeah, so it's actually really funny how it started for me because CrossFit was really new. It was 2009 and CrossFit was just starting in Iceland. I think we had two gyms at that time. And I had been kind of trying to find myself, like what sport I wanted to do. Obviously, I did the gymnastics growing up, and then I've been competing in pole vaulting. And now I was pretty focused on pole vaulting. My plan was actually to go to the Olympics in pole vaulting at 2012. And I was on a pretty good track for that. I was the indoors and outdoors champion in Iceland and like had this incredible coach, but I didn't feel like it was fun enough, I guess. I really enjoyed the jumping, but I felt like I needed to sweat more. Like I needed something more aggressive.
Crazy conditioning. Here we
Yes,
are.
I needed my conditioning in there. So I was doing boot camp at the same time, and then I was signing up for just like, it's funny, all these random fitness competitions we have in Iceland. And one of these events ended up being a CrossFit event, and it was the first CrossFit event that we had in Iceland. And Everett, actually one of my close friends, he forced me pretty much to sign up for this. And
Like, fine, I'll do it.
yes, he was like, you have to do this. You're gonna love this. And my mom, she's the one that kind of forced me on the day of the event because I was graduating from school. I was like finishing my final exam in high school, and it was super early in the morning and I hadn't slept at all. It was like my oral math test that I was doing, and I came home and I'm like, no, I'm not doing this. I'm going to sleep.
Good
I'm
old
not going to sleep
all-nighters.
right now. And my mom's like, you're going, you're going to regret it. Just go compete and sleep in the car between events. And I went, I competed, I won, and I got my spot at the CrossFit Games, and I decided to go for it. Like, it was first place.
Wait, you went right to the games from that
Yes,
competition?
from that competition, I got my spot at the games. It was like,
That's
yeah,
insane.
it was like a wild card that Iceland had for that year. They managed to get that like one male and one female spot, and my training partner qualified on the male side, Svimpia. And I was like, we'll make a trip out of it. Like, my parents are gonna come. We'll go to San Francisco, go to Aromas, and I kind of looked at it as like something fun to experience, but also a trip to the USA. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. Like, had you ever been before?
I have been to the States before and I loved it. So it was like a chance for me to get to go there again. Um, and that experience was insane. The CrossFit Games 2009, like, if people look at the workouts that year, that was a rough year and you had no idea what you were going into. And obviously the games have evolved with the years, but like, it was a lot of events. I remember every time you showed up, you never knew what you were going to do until just like they told you. And maybe we got to know one event the day before, but it started off with this like crazy run outside and then a 100 max deadlift. And pretty much before every single event, Dave had to like tell me and Simpian what that movement was because we didn't know what these were. We didn't know.
Like, we haven't actually done CrossFit before.
We had done it for 2 months. I had 2 months to prepare. So I was like, I felt like I was super ready, but I was really strong and fit before. And then I remember like one moment that year at the games, I was warming up. It was a 100 max snatch event we had. and I'm like warming up my clean and jerk. And then I see the other girls like doing something else. I'm like, oh my God.
What's that movement?
What are we doing?
I don't know if you saw, but before the event, Annie, Thor's daughter, the Iceland girl.
Oh, yes.
So they don't do a lot of snatching. She's a pole vaulter, just they do boot camp type stuff. She was in tears, walked out of the warm-up area because she wasn't making light lifts and she was seeing what the other girls were doing.
Yeah.
Tears had to be talked off the fence. She goes out and tied Jolie. It was the ugliest sin. Her feet were like 4 feet apart, and arms bent, pressed it up. But you know what? She got the weight from the ground over that.
And isn't that overcoming adversity? You're going in here mentally, you're fatigued, you're drained, you got your ass kicked up here, and then you go out in front of the crowd, and the winners want the ball.
That's right.
And she's a winner, and she got the ball, and she did a great job.
And I like remember starting to cry at that point because I'm like, I've been doing so good and I wanted to continue doing well. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. And then Coach Berger came and he helped me out with the snatch a little bit more. And like I had done it before, but I just like didn't. Yeah, I was still struggling with the words. And
Okay, this is like a fun fact, but like to see how much the sport has evolved, that was a 1 rep max snatch. Weren't you snatching like 95 pounds, 100 pounds?
Yeah, I think I went up to like 50 kilos or something.
Okay,
and
that might be like 115.
Yes, exactly. And it was like a power that hardly anyone was doing squat snatches there. It was like a power muscle snatch that you went through. I was like,
Yeah,
get out of bed. Yes. And then I was actually in second place going into the final event that year. Like things were going really well. It was brutal, but so much fun. And I was learning so much through this experience. Like I'd never done a multiple event competition before. And I remember all those ice baths I was taking and how much my body was hurting, but how much fun this was. And then the final event, we had muscle ups. And I had never done a muscle up before. And I just needed to finish that event. And I would have taken second place at the CrossFit Games that year. But I ended up DNFing. But I did get my very first muscle up in front of everyone there. And
I've seen that video.
It's like it really sticks out. Not like a lot of people think. It was an incredible memory. And it was so much fun. And it got me super, like, I just realized this was, my dreams of going to the Olympics were out. I'm like, I don't care about pole vaulting. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm going to do.
This is what you want to be the best in the world in.
Yes. And it wasn't me getting my first muscle up. It was me not getting the remaining muscle ups that got me so fired up. I had always I've been able to muscle my way through things and just like figure it out on the spot. Like I had a very good body awareness and I was usually just like able to just punch through it, finish, but I wasn't able to do it there. Yes, I got my first one, but what stuck out was that I didn't finish it. And that
you hit a real roadblock. It's like a real challenge.
That got me so fired up. I'm like, this is it. I can't this isn't going to be a walk in the park. This isn't going to be something that I'm just going to succeed in. I need to work my ass off for this. I need to be good at everything. And that was what I wanted to do. So
that's so cool. It wasn't the success of like getting the muscle up. It was the challenge of not getting the others that fired you up.
Yes.
And that's still what fires us up.